some of you aren't healing. You're just getting better at explaining your pain. You've been doing the work, you've read the books, you've sat in the circles, you've talked to your therapists, you've joined the growth groups, you've started journaling, you've started meditating, you've started doing all of the things. And now you can tell me exactly what's wrong. You know where your wounds came from. You know what they sound like. You can trace the trauma all the way back to the very moment that it started. And that is awesome. There's no small feat in being able to do that. It's huge progress, but it's not healing. Let me explain. Self-awareness is not the finish line. At least for me, it's not. You've made it to self-awareness, but that's where most people stop. They think, well, I can name my pain, so I must be free from it. I can trace it all the way back to the beginning. I know the source of my issues, so I must be free from it, right? Not right. That pain doesn't leave just because you understand it. The pain leaves when you learn how to transform it, when you transform your relationship with it. That part is uncomfortable. That part is quiet. That part doesn't come with applause or validation. Because that's the part where you have to sit with it. There's no distractions. There's no mindless scrolls. There's no audience. Just you and your pain. Here's the truth that most people avoid. You cannot heal what you cannot feel. And feeling your pain is not the same as retelling it. Sure, every time you retell it, you might feel it again, but that's not what I'm talking about. Telling the story's the easy part. You've done it 100 times. But sitting with it, asking it why it still lives inside you, what it's trying to teach you, that takes courage. So what is the pain trying to teach you? Well, I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that every pain has a purpose. That doesn't mean that it was good that it happened. It doesn't justify the trauma. But pain is a messenger. And most of us are too busy explaining it to ever really listen to it. We want to say, this thing happened to me. This is the way I am because of this. I do these things because this thing happened to me. This is what I've been through. We keep saying these things over and over and over again. But rarely do we stop and we say, ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn here? What is this pain trying to tell me? Who is this pain trying to shape me into? Is there something inside of me that is meant to wake up? You've identified your pain. That's step one. Now ask yourself, what is this pain trying to do to transform me? Because transformation doesn't happen through insight alone. It happens in stillness, in the quiet, in surrender. And that leads me to this idea, the one that stopped me in my tracks when it first came to me. Middle of the night the other night, I was wide awake with this thought in my head, and I can't make it go away. It goes like this. Your higher self is going to hold your head underwater until you realize that you are a fish. Think about that. You're not drowning, you're becoming. Corey, what the heck do you mean by that? I'm so glad you asked. Think about it. Life has been hard lately, right? At times you feel like you're underwater. You're gasping, you're panicking, you're struggling to get your next breath. But what if you're not drowning? What if you're becoming? Your higher self, that deep divine part of you that sees the whole picture. It's not punishing you. It's preparing you. It's holding you underwater, not to hurt you, but to wake you up to the truth that this is the environment you were made for. You were built for this. You were supposed to be here. You were designed to thrive here. But, and it's not necessarily your whole fault, you've spent your entire life gasping on the surface, thinking that the discomfort meant that you were failing, when really it meant that you were evolving. I mean, you're not dying. You're developing gills. Sit with that. Tell me what you think on that. The pressure you feel right now, the anxiety, the uncertainty, it's not the end of you. It's the beginning of you. And in that, there's some greatness. Because the deeper you go into that pain, the clearer the truth becomes. You're not broken. You're not falling behind. You are in the process of becoming who you were always meant to be. Now, so many of us are carrying our pain like a badge of honor, but we're also using it as an excuse. Is that you? You know what I'm talking about. I can't trust because of fill in the blank. I can't fully show up because of what I've been through. I can't fully love because I can't trust anymore. But you can. You just haven't decided yet that your pain is your power. The moment you stop using it as a shield and you start using it as a tool, everything changes. Let me say it like this. Your pain is not your identity. Your pain is your initiation. It's the fire inside of you that forges who you are. It's the current that teaches you how to swim. And when you stop thrashing around and start trusting, you'll realize you're not healing so you can become someone else. You're healing so you can remember who you were meant to be. Some of us aren't healing. We're just getting better at explaining our pain. But now it's the time to go deeper. Now, guys, now, to sit in your stillness, to stop running from it, to start analyzing, reflecting, and asking yourself, is this really for me? What's this meant to teach me? Where can I go with this knowledge? Because your higher self is holding your head underwater, not to drown you, but to remind you that you were always a fish. And it's time to remember how to breathe down here. Now here's your call to action. Don't let this be another moment that feels good right now, but in 10 minutes you're going to forget about it. Take some time tonight, maybe even right now. No music, no distractions, no scrolling. Just you and your notebook and this one question: what is my pain still trying to teach me? Now, write down whatever comes up. No filter, no judgment. Don't think about how it's going to work. Just write it down, what comes to your mind. Then ask yourself this: who am I becoming because of it? And am I willing to stop explaining and start healing? Let me say this: you don't need more information. You need transformation. And that starts with you tonight. Choosing to stop floating or sinking, and finally learning to swim.